Hello YouTube, Dave here again with another car repair video. Today is a 2018 Cadillac STS front wheel drive model with electric power steering. Today I'm going to be replacing the accessory belt, and wanted to make a video because it's a little unusual to compare to the ones that I've done over the years as to access and I guess just the amount of work it takes to get to here. None of it's very difficult. It's a little bit, like, again, unusual. So typically in front wheel drive cars that I've done over the years, a majority of the access is through the fender well. And I just wanted to show, like on this one, obviously I got the car jacked up right now. I got one floor jack holding up the car with a safety underneath the suspension. Took out 3 of the little retainer clips on the splash shield, and that's the level of access you got. The structure of the car is pretty thick right here, so you can really only see the crank pulley, and the air conditioning compressor is to the right, the front of the car, and that's about all you can really see. That doesn't give you enough access, in my opinion, to actually replace the belt. So this is great access, and that's what I wanted to cover here, is how I got to here. So starting with how I took it apart. Obviously I got a rag stuffed in here just to make sure nothing gets in the air intake while I'm working on it. But I loosened up first this hose clamp, which goes onto the air intake tube. Just loosen that. Disconnect this mass airflow. You can pull this red safety clip back and then just push in, and that clips right on to there. And then there's a multitude of perimeter Phillips and standard screws that go around the airbox cover. Once that's all undone, you can just you got to kind of shimmy it out a little bit. It's in there kind of tight, but shimmy that out, and then pull this out completely, and then obviously your air filter comes out super easy after that. So what you're left with is your airbox base, which looks like this. This just snaps in. There's 3 clips that hold it in. And when you pull it out, it's probably going to take the little rubber grommets with it. So I'll show you. There's one there, and that goes on this plastic bung there. There's another one here, which goes into the engine mount here, and the other one is right at the bottom right there, which goes in right there. In this this snorkel goes down into the cutout in the fender well. So when you go pull this out, very good chance, like mine did, that the rubber grommets come with it. No problem. Just take them off of those tabs and push them back in. One there, one on the bracket, and then this big triangular kind of shaped one goes down into the fender well. I use silicone grease, get it ready to push those tabs back in, so it'll be easier to mount. So once that's out, you have access to the engine mounts. 6 bolts total, all 15 millimeter. These 3 are the same. These 2 are the same. This is the one oddball on that. This is the one that goes here. The other 2 go there and there. This one's a little bit shorter than the other 2 that are here. So take these 15s out. Take these 15s out. At that point, you're going to want to have your engine supported. Like I said, I have 2 floor jacks. You don't need 2. You could use 1 as long as you have some way of supporting the car, and then flip it around on this side. But we definitely use a floor jack to support the motor, so you can kind of jack it up and down a little bit to get things lined up the way you need it. Get that supported. You can take this one completely off. Those 3 bolts, by the way, go into this engine bracket here. So with this completely out, you're left with this bolted to the front of the motor. There's 3 18 millimeter head bolts that go into the block. A little hard to see. There's one there, there's one there, and there's one towards the back right there. Pretty good size, 10.9 grade, but again, you're bolting aluminum into aluminum, so we're not talking high torque here, just heavy bolts to support the weight. So I didn't get a gauge on it, but I would say they were probably 25 to 30 foot-pounds. So once that bracket's out, this is what it looks like. I've got the engine jacked up a little bit more just to make it easier for the video to kind of see things. But here's your belt routing. I'll go start at the bottom here. So from the crank pulley going across the bottom over to the air conditioner compressor, up, and then on the smooth side of the belt onto the idler pulley, back up over the alternator, straight across onto the water pulley, and then smooth side of the belt around the tensioner. And then it goes right back down to the crank. Tensioner has your typical half-inch drive socket there. Very low tension spring on this thing compared to some of the other ones I've used, so it doesn't take a whole lot to hold this belt apparently. The other thing I will say, putting it on and off, you're going to want to start with the tensioner. The pulley is obviously on the back side of the tensioner. There's not a lot of room between the pulley and the block, so you got to snake the belt between the block and the pulley, get it up over, and then smooth side of the belt on that pulley, and then start wrapping it around the respective pulleys as I described in order to get it on there, and just get your cheater bar or whatever wrench on that half-inch drive and get everything put back in, and then I'll go in detail on the reassembly here so you can see. Obviously removal will be in reverse. Okay, there's the new belt, and like I said, sorry I couldn't record it. These new belts are, when they're all folded up like that, they're just a little difficult to get them to manipulate. The sun's right in the bad angle, but like I said, you slip it. The hardest part is just getting it started around that tensioner. Then once that's in, it's relatively simple. Again, that's the backwards on there, but that's the part number. So next item is getting that aluminum brace in. Remember, 3 bolts. Let's get them finger started here. Apparently that one has to be in before it goes on the block. Okay, so these 318s just get installed back on the block. Again, about 30 foot-pounds is all they're going to take. Be right back. Okay, that's in. Like I said, torque to 30 foot-pounds. Sorry for the sun, it's really bright right here, but I don't know if you can see, the belt is right there. Man, it's really bright, but you can see the pulley, maybe just barely make out the pulley and the belt. That's why that bracket has to come off. So the next step is to mount this back in, and pull the bolts out. So pull the 3 out that go to that plate, and the ones that go out to the structure of the car. That way we can just land it where it needs to go. So that goes in here. It's hard to do with one hand. Really hard to do with one hand. I might have to put you guys down for a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Hard with one hand. These 3 go back in. This is where the jack underneath the car is going to help get things situated. This one is, I didn't take the hose off here, as you can tell. Just trying to save the coolant and an extra step. It takes a little bit of time to, that one has to be done obviously with a wrench, because you can't get access to it without the Okay, so that's in. Again, those 3 15s, these 3 15s. Sorry, the sun is really at a bad angle. Those are tight. Next step is to put the air cleaner box bottom in, and it'll go in through, this, and right there. Okay, that took just a minute. One thing I realized is that grommet you want out of the metal keeper, and you want to put the grommet on the plastic pin. Just this one. Put the grommet on the plastic pin first. It's slotted at the top, so the whole thing will slide right in. And then with a little bit of lubrication on those other 2 pins, just a good sharp push down, and I felt it snap right in. So now we're grab the air filter. Air filter goes back in. We take out our plastic, verify that that's clean, and then we'll go ahead and put the air box back in and reconnect everything, and that'll be it. Thanks for watching.